So when I arrived this summer in the US for my trip, Chad told me that by the end of the summer, he had in plan for us to conquer some very tough hike that we were going to go on. And he told me that it was called Half Dome and it was in Yosemite National Park in California. So we obviously did some research, and the research basically said that it's definitely the hardest hike in all of the parks in the US. So we went to Yosemite as a family trip with me, Chad, his mom, and his dad. We arrived there on a Saturday, and in order for you to get into, to be able to hike Half Dome, you gotta go through a lottery system. And the chances of getting the permit is 20%. So that's also tough. It adds a layer of toughness to it. And basically, according to our time schedule and also according to how we would be going back home to St. Louis, we could basically do the hike on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. We applied for Tuesday, we didn't get selected. We applied for Wednesday, we did get selected. And we applied for Thursday. And now the Tuesday, because we didn't get selected, we went to Yosemite Valley, and I developed a fever. I got sick. So I'm starting to heat up, and I'm sick, and my nose got shut. And I was like, oh my God, there's no fucking way. And then I went to bed, and the lottery results come out in the afternoon. I remember it was 5 p.m. And I remember I was sleeping, and then Chad comes into the room, and I just wake up, and I'm like, Chad, did we get into Half Dome? Did we get the permit? And he was like, Borjan, oh fuck, we got the permit. We got the permit. And I was like, no way. We got it on the last try, on the last possible day we could do it. I get up, I'm very excited. I'm just thinking of how to recover so I can go on the hike. But on the other side, I'm also scared because it's a very tough hike and I'm sick. So on Wednesday, our day before the hike, I was basically just sitting by myself and just flooded with so many emotions and so many thoughts of just anxiety, uncertainty, and just doubts. Can we do it? And I remember I recorded myself that day, and I recorded myself giving a speech that day. Днеска сме 23 юли 2024, вторник. По два неуспешни обида, конечно ја дојавме лотеријата за Half Dome за 25 јули, односно за 2 дена, тоа е четврток. Ја го што сум настинат моментално, така да ја треба да направим некој многу докторски, многу херојски напор за да остравам што е можно побрзо утре, пошто ова е дефинитивно најтешката рута за планинарење тука во паркот. Ама знам дека со Божја волја и дека со Божја помош се е можно. И поневозможни работи имам направено, така да едва и чекам да почнеме четврток и да ја испукаме таа рута како што треба. Chad's family helped us pack, prepare. They got us our food. But most importantly, the next day they woke up with us at 4:30 a.m. because we wanted to go on the hike at 6. We wake up at 4:30. It was an hour and a half drive to get to the start of the mist trail. And, we're just driving there. And there's this section of the park where you can just park and you can see it. It was 5 a.m. in the morning and you could see it in the distance. You can finally see our goal for the day. You could see Half Dome in the distance with no sun. The moon was just bright and it was so beautiful. It just seemed like, you know what? That's where we're going. That's our goal right there.
Humans, when you walk outside and you feel and you already are sweaty because the water just attaches to your skin.
We took the mist trail, which is the shortest one, I believe. And basically, there's a couple of stops or like checkpoints, I would say. First checkpoint was Vernal Falls. And so basically we started out, we started going on the trail. It's just incline. Like it's just incline. You're just going up. And I'm starting to have difficulties because I haven't recovered fully from my sickness. So basically I was going on the whole trail with a stuffed nose. It was really hard for me to breathe because I was breathing through my mouth the entire time. And it's obviously very hard. So I started getting my first difficulties there. We got to Vernal Falls. And there are a lot of people because a lot of people were actually hiking over there because not everyone's going to have them. They're probably just going up there. But Vernal Falls was the first stop that we had.
Just reached Vernal Falls.
Then after Vernal Falls is Nevada Falls. And it's just like a little bit higher elevation. We're going up and we got to Nevada Falls and it was actually our first lunch break there. In terms of what we brought for food, we brought a lot of snacks, dried fruit, and lots of water. The recommendation for packing by the national park was at least a minimum of 4 liters. If you're going to have them, I would recommend more than that because we were doing this on July 25th. It was really hot, so I would recommend getting a lot more water if you're trying to do this in the middle of the summer. So after Nevada Falls, there is this section of the trail where it's not just incline, it's not just like going up. It's just straight. You're just walking straight for like an hour. And it felt really nice because we found a river where we chilled at.
Oh, yeah.
And after the straight part's over, mind you this, the entire trail is just incline. Like going up to Nevada Falls and going up to Vernal Falls, there's like thousands of steps to go up there. And you're like getting to this section where it's just straight. And then after the straight section, I think it's called Little Yosemite Valley. After the straight section, you're going up to this part called Subdome. It's all incline. It's all incline. And you're just going up and it's all incline. The nature is beautiful. But it was really tough for me. Like, obviously, it was getting very tough for me. I couldn't go more than like 20 steps without taking a break. And like, we're going to Subdome was our next destination, our next checkpoint. And me and Chad got into an argument here because he was pushing and he felt like I was slowing him down, but I felt like I was like pushing to the max. He thought that I could have been pushing more and that I was giving up. I felt like I was giving my maximum and that I was doing it at my limit, and me just being there at my limit was more than enough. And as we're going up there, I have my first cramps. As we're going to Subdome, I have my first cramps on my legs. I couldn't go up, so I took like a little short break. And like we had this argument, and then like during this argument we also kind of like just talked about how like we had problems with our lungs as child. I spent most of my childhood with lung problems and pneumonia and all those kind of things. And if I recall correctly, he had like water in his lungs. But we somehow get to Subdome, which is like, it's again like a lot of steps before you get to the base of Half Dome. And we get to Subdome and I just start crying. I just start crying because I feel proud of it. I felt like this sense of pride in myself that I managed to push and to get to Subdome. Then it's like a lot of steps again, and my legs were just killing after every 5 steps. My legs were killing after every 5 steps. There are a lot of people there. You can see that there was a lot of traffic.
Take it slow.
Oh my, this is right on.
Oh yeah, you want to get that?
We took our time. Also, at the start of Subdome is when the National Park Ranger checks whether you have a permit or not. She was a bitch that day, but she also like talked to us at how like a girl the week before died while ascending up to Half Dome. He kind of made me scared, but we went through it. And we got to the top of Subdome, and we could finally see it. We could finally see the last section of our trip. 400 feet or 200 meters, if you're from Europe, of steel cables up a very steep ascent to get to the top of Half Dome.
Subdome is not no joke, huh?
Oh my god, that is.
Top 10 funniest jokes ever. You guys going up?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That is a fun.
It was the most congested part of the day. There were people going up and there were people going down. We took our first steps on the cable. And we're going up, and like at the start of it, like we had energy. I know, like I felt that like we had energy for it. So we were going up, and we rested at this one point where there was like, I sat down for a moment and I took this video with this lovely lady from Scotland.
Chadwick. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
And we're going up, and then just like we're just going up, but like the problem was because it was so congested, there were so many people. It was the middle of the day. We started our hike at 6 a.m. and now it was like 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. and there were a lot of people going down. So like me and Chad were communicating the entire time when to stop, when to go, but we were like very generous about letting the people that were coming down pass through and then us going up. But on the last 10 steps, both my legs cramped again. Like both my legs cramped. We had electrolyte gum. Chad had electrolyte gum, and he was like, do I give it to you? I was like, no, just go. Both my legs cramped. Every step I took felt like I was taking 1,000 steps. You know, I'm just holding on to the cables, and I'm like just doing it out of just like pure will. I'm just going at it out of pure will. And when I finally got past the final cable section, I throw myself on the ground and I just start crying because we fucking did it. We fucking did it. The boys that had pneumonia from Dracho and from Centrals, who met in high school in the US, conquered the toughest day hike in all of the national parks in the United States.
Yes! Two cramped legs. Oh my goodness. We fucking did it!
After the emotion settled down a little bit, we started exploring. We took an hour to explore it. And one thing that we didn't like was that a lot of people would go up there, they would just stay there for like 5 minutes and just go down. No, like me and him wanted to just stay there and just enjoy it, because what was the point of just hiking for like 6 hours if you just can't enjoy it? I felt like we were on another planet. Like, I honestly felt like we were on the moon or something, because it just felt so like, the feeling up there is just different. It's like, it's not like you're on a mountain. It feels like you're on the top of the world. We took our time exploring it, and eventually after 1 hour, we were like, it's time to go down. We went back down. It took us 5 hours. We took breaks on the way back down. And I remember when I saw Lori and Jeff at the parking lot, I was so relieved. I was so happy because we had done it. They got us a cold Pepsi and a cold Coca-Cola and some sandwiches and some bananas. I just started eating because we had depleted our water resources at the we screwed up with our water management. We pretty much only had like 1 liter on the way back. But we did it. We actually did it. We conquered Half Dome. I really want to thank Jeff and Lori because they supported us through the whole experience. They supported us throughout the entire journey. I'm very thankful for them for granting us the opportunity to do this. And I'm also very grateful to Kyle, the busboy from Best Western Yosemite Inn, who was very infectious, and his positive energy really caught our eye and become like one of my favorite symbols and characters from my trip and my stay in the US this summer. My final thought for this vlog: yes, I was sick. Yes, it was very hard. Yes, it was nearly impossible. My final message, my final thought is that sometimes all you have to do is show up. Like, I feel like showing up is something that is not appreciated enough in today's world. Sometimes all you have to do is just show up and just be there and just do it. Like, you might feel like complete shit, but if you show up and you do the work, you're gonna do it. The final clip that I will play in this vlog is going to be me singing my favorite song from Macedonia at the top of Half Dome. Thank you guys so much. This was the final vlog from my US trip. I hope you all enjoyed them. To many more in the future. And stay limitless and go out there and create amazing stories which you will love to share with other people. See you guys next time.
Svoj odpad zatrupan se už tego zna. Ako zgrešam, neka izgora. Svoj odpad zatrupan už tego znam. Ako zgrešam, neka izgora. Sam te moram da ve probijam. Hej, Igori.
Ako zgrešam, neka izgora.